Good evening, curious minds of the interwebs. I'm Alexa, the resident ookie spooky girly, and today we're traveling over to the Amazon rainforest, home to over 5 million square kilometers of rainforest and many species of things that can only be found in that specific region. This is up there as one of the scariest things I've ever researched. Easily. Question for y'all, what do you fear? I'm a bit of an arachnophobe, and you'll see proof of that soon enough, because here are the top 5 dark discoveries in the Amazon rainforest. Number 5, the poison dart frog. One of the smallest scary Amazonian creatures, the poison dart frog also happens to be one of the deadliest creatures in the entire rainforest. It's the common name of a group of frogs in the family Dendrobatidae, which are native to tropical Central and South America. These species are diurnal and often have brightly colored bodies. This brightly coloration is correlated with the toxicity of the species, making them aposematic. Some species of the family Dendrobatidae exhibit extremely bright coloration along with high toxicity, while others have cryptic coloration with minimal to no amount of observed toxicity. The species that have great toxicity derive this feature from their diet of ants, mites, and termites. The golden poison dart frog is the most dangerous of the family, with enough poison to kill 10 to 20 adults. As is the case with many poisonous mushrooms, the bright color is a warning to its toxicity. What is intriguing about this creature is the fact that they are perfectly harmless when raised in captivity. Their poison is so strong that if just 1 milligram gets into a person's bloodstream, it can cause death within minutes. Amazon rainforest locals have been using these creatures for years to hunt for wild animals. They dip their arrows into the poison and it remains potent, for a year. Now, if you want to have one as a pet, here's a couple of things to know. Wild-caught specimens can maintain toxicity for some time, so appropriate care should be taken when handling them. While scientific study on the lifespan of poison dart frogs is less than ideal, retaking frequencies indicate it can range from 1 to 3 years old in the wild. However, these frogs typically live for much longer than that in captivity, having been reported to live as long as 25 years. Now, this frog is known for aggressive and predatory behavior. As tadpoles, the individuals of the genus are said to exhibit some unique same-species consuming tendencies, along with many other forms of predatory behavior. Dendrobates, tadpoles that either consumed 3 or more conspecific tadpoles and or relatively large larvae of a specific species of mosquito by the name of Trichoprosopon digitatum, common in their environment, led them to having a much higher growth rate and typically lived much longer lives. Reasons for this behavior could be that predation and aggression was selected for and favored for a few reasons. One reason is to eliminate predators, and the second reason is that it serves as a source of food in habitats that were low in resources. This predation could have evolved over time and led to same-species ingestion as another form of predatory behavior that had benefited individuals' survival fitness. Thus, it can be assumed that these tendencies of dendrobates is limited to their lifetime as a tadpole and does not cross over into their adult life. Just some little fun facts, super silly and not scary at all. Number 4. Tarantulas. If I look tense, it's because I am. I'm a bit of an arachnophobe, so I had to close my eyes while looking at articles and documents today that featured these creepy crawlies, so bear with me if I start shuddering or look off color. If you're like me and you suffer from arachnophobia, places such as the Amazon rainforest are somewhere you might want to leave off your bucket list. And also just skip to number 3, I won't mind. About 3,600 species of spiders inhabit the forest, and some of them are deadly. Only some. Apparently it's less than 100, but I'm not taking any chances. Some of them are pretty friendly, make of that what you will, and according to experts, harmless, such as jumping spiders. It's taking all of my strength not to run fleeing at the thought right now. Amazonian tarantulas are some of the largest in the world, but they aren't very dangerous, even though they're venomous and their bite can cause pain that might last for days. See, the agony isn't a guarantee, it's just a maybe. I'm still leaving the Amazon off of my future travels list. They don't normally attack humans unless they're disturbed and feel threatened. However, when that happens, a bite is not the only thing you have to worry about. They sometimes like to shoot microscopic hairs right into your eyes. They're not hairs really, they're more like tiny pieces of fiberglass, which is so much worse. An Englishman who kept a tarantula as a pet once ended up in the hospital with red, painful eyes, and the doctor was shocked to find little hairs that had not only penetrated his eyes, but made it all the way back to the retina. The man remembered that he was cleaning the cage of his pet, and when he got too close, he was sprayed with the tiny hairs that ended up on his face and in his eyes. Apparently pet stores fail to mention that when people purchase tarantulas. Also, once again, that was a pet owner, so someone the creature should trust in theory and not feel as threatened around. Question for y'all for funsies, which would you rather after that? Spider hairs in your eyes or porcupine quills in your arm? As someone who has had money stapled to my skin, I'll go with quills in the arm. It's probably a lot less painful and not as risky long term. I think if I had to narrow it down, the scariest tarantula out there happens to be the Goliath bird eaters, which are a spider that's roughly the size of a puppy and the heaviest tarantula in the world. Reaching up to 5 inches in body length and weighing up to 6 ounces, it dwarfs almost every other spider. The spider is found mostly in the swamps and marshes around the Amazon River, where it burrows underground and ventures out at night to nab prey. Okay, time to move on before I decide sleeping isn't an option tonight, and so I stop convulsing. crossing. Number 3, a possible Titanoboa spotting. I guess I'm talking about all my big fears today. Lucky me. I hate big snakes, but a discovery is a discovery, so I hope y'all are ready. Apparently I'm determined to give myself nightmares tonight or something. So the Titanoboa is historically the biggest snake to have ever existed, since they could grow up to 42 feet, or maybe even 47 feet long, and reach a body mass of anywhere between 1,600 to 2,500 pounds. In 2002, during an expedition to coal mines launched by the University of Florida and Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute, large thoracic vertebrae and ribs were unearthed by the students Jonathan Block and Carlos Jamarillo. I'm sorry if I got that name wrong, I swear I tried. More fossils were unearthed over the course of the expedition, eventually totaling 186 fossils from 30 individuals. The expedition lasted in 2004, during which the fossils of Titanoboa were mistakenly labeled as those of crocodiles, even though they were missing, osteoderms. In terms of the moniker, the genus name derives from the Greek word titan, in addition to boa, the type genus of the family Boidae. In 2009, Mike Warner, a 74-year-old retired lithographer from Lisburn, Northern Ireland, poured his life savings into a search for the giant snake, first commissioning satellite imagery and then organizing a 2-week expedition to the confluence of the Napo and Amazon rivers, east of Iquitos. And all of a sudden, the expensive cosplays in my closet are looking more like chump change instead of my most pricey hobby, but to each their own. Being accompanied by his son Greg, they traveled to the region to try to capture evidence of the creature, assembling a team to carry out aerial surveys of selected locations. After 12 days in the jungle, hazardous weather conditions, hundreds of still photographs, and hours of video, the two men captured a photo of what they claimed to be a gigantic snake, about 40 meters long and almost 2 meters wide. Now there has been some debate about just how large a modern anaconda or python can grow, but 40 meters is an extraordinary claim, leading to the belief that this is truly a Titanoboa in hiding. Now the Amazon is home to many legends of giant snakes, much larger than the anaconda, that make the region their home. Names given by the locals include the Yakumama or Mother of Water, Black Boa, Sucuri Gigante, or Cobra Grande. And reports over the years have ranged from 50 meters in length to a more realistic 18 to 24 meters. Mike and his son have planned additional expeditions to track down the monster and have recommended thermal imaging surveys of the region. Good luck, I guess. Number 2, La Lupuna. La Lupuna is a huge tree that grows in certain parts of the Amazon rainforest. For reference, the trunk can be as wide as 33 feet. One of the things that makes this tree unique is a part of its trunk is wider than the rest, which makes it resemble a human abdomen. People of Peru believe that the spirit of this tree is a protector of the rainforest, so if one were to cut the wrong species of Lupuna, the tree will take revenge on you. There's an urban legend that is told of a local woman who was walking through the jungle and felt the need to relieve herself, which she did, near a big tree. And that night her stomach started hurting and swelled up a whole lot. She had to go to a shaman to ask for help, and he realized that the woman's problems were caused by the Lupuna tree. The tree had been disrespected and was now punishing her, so she needed to apologize. The shaman ventured into the jungle, found the tree, and performed a series of rituals in order to receive forgiveness for the woman. At the end, he cut the tree's belly and took some of the dripping juice with him. The woman drank the liquid, and the swelling and pain disappeared immediately, which is an interesting ending if you ask me. I'm reminded of the Brothers Grimm version of Rapunzel, where a lonely couple who long to reproduce live next to a large, extensive, high-walled garden that belongs to a sorceress. The wife, experiencing pregnancy cravings, longs for the Rapunzel that she sees growing in the garden. It's either the root vegetable Campanula rapunculus or the salad green Valerianella locusta. She refuses to eat anything else and begins to waste away. Her husband fears for her life, and one night he breaks into the garden to get some for her. When he returns, she makes a salad out of it and eats it, but longs for more, so her husband returns to the garden to retrieve some more. As he scales the wall to return home, the sorceress catches him and accuses him of theft. He begs for mercy and she agrees to be lenient, allowing him to take all the Rapunzel he wants on the condition that the spawn be given to her when it's born, and he agrees. When his wife gives birth, the sorceress takes her to raise her as her own and names her Rapunzel after the plant her mother craved. In one version, her parents move away before she's born in an attempt to avoid surrendering her, only for the sorceress to turn up at their door upon birth, saying, "Yeah, nice try." Y'all know how the story ends, so I won't make you listen to the whole thing. But the similarities and differences in the two tales are pretty interesting. Number 1, bullet ants. Compared to the other things I've talked about today, an ant might not seem that scary. Sure, they aren't gonna kill you, but the pain caused by them is supposed to be absolutely awful, and according to some victims, it really feels like a bullet and can last for hours. Satarimawe, an indigenous people of Brazil, use the bullet ant as a part of their initiation rites to become warriors. The ritual seems to have been created by someone truly demented by my modern Canadian standards, but I understand that there must be some sort of actual cultural significance behind it. The ants are submerged in a natural sedative until they become unconscious. They are then woven into a glove made of leaves, which the boy becoming initiated must wear for 10 minutes. And that's just the beginning, as the boy's hand and arm will be temporarily paralyzed because of the venom and may shake uncontrollably for a couple of days. Pardon me shaking my hand, it's involuntary. I have a feeling Guantanamo Bay either already uses this as a questioning tactic or will someday. And that brings us to the end of our time, and hello Alexa's Nightmare Fuel for tonight. I'm off to go binge watch old episodes of All That that while I also scroll through the eye bleach subreddit. But if you enjoyed today's video, could you help us out by giving it a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more darkness from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you lovely spooky people.